Interesting set of events here. We had on May the 1st in Ontario a proposed budget. One of the things in the budget, among many other increases in taxes, was an increase in cigarette taxes. Always something that governments feel safe in doing because, hey, who champions the cigarette smoker? So then the budget was brought down. We have the election we've been discussing here. So you would think all of that was off the table, but no, cigarette taxes went up about 12% with, by the way, tax on top of tax. So cigarettes are even more expensive in Ontario. That was kind of confusing to some people. They thought the budget had been at least put on hold until and unless the Liberals are voted in again. David Menzies is here, but it turns out there are things that the government can raise taxes on without a vote, without putting it in a budget, and cigarettes is one of them.
Absolutely, Jerry. A lot of people erroneously thought the tobacco companies were trying to put a fast one by them, right? That was not the case. Tobacco taxes, indeed, you don't need it to be a budget that's voted on. You can arbitrarily raise it, and so it was raised again. But the fatal flaw of this, Jerry, is that every time governments raise taxes, the price of the legal product, goes into the stratosphere, and otherwise law-abiding citizens become consumers for the black market. I went to the Six Nations Indian Reserve on Brantford, and I mean, that tells you the whole story. Right now at an Ontario convenience store, a $30 carton of cigarettes has more than $50 of taxes on it. But this carton of Luckies, right? Yeah. I believe this was $30, okay?
Total.
Yes, taxes in, right?
Okay.
If that's too rich for your blood, for $13, Jerry, 200 cigarettes, the same amount as in this.
I understand they're not very good.
No, I'm not a smoker.
Neither am I. I've asked smokers. They say they're not very good. However, the price differential is so incredible.
Yes.
Because, again, how much was that pack?
This was around
the little baggy thing.
$13 for 200 cigarettes.
Yeah, and I was told by smokers this morning something now with the tax raise, something like $87.
Correct.
In order to buy a legal carton of cigarettes.
Correct.
So you can understand why people are saying, I don't care whether it's illegal, I'm going to the black market.
Well, you know what? Here's where everybody, even non-smokers, have skin in the game, Jerry, because the government, the RCMP estimates that there are more than 175 criminal gangs running the contraband tobacco market. And this is in Ontario alone. The estimates are $1.1 to $2 billion of taxation being denied to the Treasury. And when these gangs are running this racket, Jerry, these aren't the Boy Scouts. We're talking about gun running, money laundering, the harsh drugs, lots of illegal drugs. It's not good stuff. It hurts communities. And the problem is the knee-jerk reaction of government is to say, we're going to raise taxes, and you know what, we're going to look into some kind of law enforcement, but they don't.
No, they're not doing that. And I talk to any number of people, and I know that these people believe that they are good citizens. They're breaking the law. You can bring up the fact that the Hells Angels or any other group are involved. Yeah. And, either they try to talk in circles to legitimize what they're doing, or some of them just flat out say, I don't care. I'm not paying that tax.
And you know what? I kind of get that attitude, Jerry.
I do get it, sure.
Especially when a $30 carton has more than $50 of taxes on it.
Well, it's about a $200 tax, actually. I was talking to Candace Malcolm from the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. She's the Ontario director, and she said that it is two-thirds tax. So that's a 200% tax.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But Jerry, just consider the hypocrisy. Every single regulation in the Smokefree Ontario Act is completely obliterated on the reserve, okay? There's no taxes being being collected. The cigarettes are on full display. You can smoke in the shops that sell this. Sales to minors happen all the time. And that was the ostensible reason for high taxes in the Smokefree Ontario Act.
Yeah, sure. And what's in that little baggie you have there?
Oh, another rule. This is free samples. You go in there and you go, oh, Icon or Chippewas, I don't know this cigarette. They'll go, sir, and it's great customer service. No problem. Here, have 4 of them. Tell us what you think. And what has to happen?
Is that legal in say, any store that sells cigarettes anywhere else in Canada?
Jerry, if an inspector comes into a convenience store and sees one of the cabinets open just displaying the Demurier logo, that's a violation. You get 2 of those in 5 years. You have a 6-month suspension. Effectively, you are out of business, right?
Yeah.
No, anything goes on the reserve. And what has to be done? Lower the taxes, increase law enforcement.
Yeah, well, in Ontario, there is no law enforcement on reserves.
No.
It's out of control, and we could tell stories all day long on that, but not today.
Okay.
So thank you very much for dropping by with your fine display of illegal cigarettes.